What's up, everybody? I want to tell you about Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's one of the easiest ways to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting Anchor on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. So download Anchor, the app, or go to anchor.fm to get started. And I'm a veteran, so let's hear some more military cadences. What's up, family? So tonight is big election night. Let's get some results. Let's see what we got going on here so far. Let's see. A lot of things are staying the same. So right now, and this is just updated, the House seats, the Senate seats are 44 Dem, 45 GOP. So still some places have not came in yet. It looks like Herschel Walker is shockingly going to take Georgia. Not shockingly, but going to, Fetterman is going to beat out Dr. Oz for Pennsylvania. So the results are still coming in, but looks like we'll either be neck and neck again, or we'll either be neck and neck again, or they might get an upset. There's 3 toss-ups: Arizona, Nevada, and Georgia on the Senate seats. So, I mean, we know Georgia with 89% is possibly going Republican. Nevada and Arizona appear to be going Democrat. We'll see. As far as the House, is 217 to 203 with 15 toss-ups. A lot of it is, a lot of it is still kind of leaning towards, it's going to be interesting. It's estimated to still be 50-50 on the Senate. The House is what might start going towards the Republicans. So interesting news. I'm not shocked. I personally believe that a lot of the issues that our Democratic liberals find important, the working regular class person doesn't. A lot of people are not liking inflation. They're not liking high gas prices. And that is how the Republicans are winning. So Brian Kemp, he takes Georgia. Again, Stacey Abrams conceded. Beto O'Rourke, he lost Texas. He lost Texas to Abbott again. So, yeah, man. Chuck Grassley, he is a senator. He took Iowa. So, yeah, that's what's going on in the election right now. It's just going to still be AOC, one of the most hated people in the House. She won her re-election for her New York seat. A lot of people won that. New York has a Democratic governor again, which is not shocking. Kathy Hochul is her name. So yeah, that is what is going on with the election. There is going to be, I definitely believe the Democrats are going to have to reevaluate their forms of attack because it just ain't looking good. It just ain't looking good. And like I said, I think the things that the Democrats think that people are concerned with aren't actually. I think down in Florida with DeSantis arresting people that were voting illegally, that probably scared the you know what out of most people. Uh, yeah. A lot of people in the country are not happy with Florida. Yeah, they're not happy at all. So this is interesting with DeSantis winning because you know he is wanting to run for president. So that's not so good for Trump because people seem to like DeSantis. He's not as kooky as Trump is, and he's younger, and he kind of sticks it to the man. And yeah, I mean, a lot of people are commenting. Mehdi Hassan said over 80,000 Floridians died from COVID on his watch. So Florida led the nation for COVID deaths even over the past summer, but DeSantis actually rewarded for his handling of COVID. So that should pretty much tell you guys that they don't care about that. The living people still don't care about it. So I don't know. Democrats are going to have to take a look at how they're trying to win the voters over. A lot of people are someone Nashi said, congrats to Floridians and Hispanics who just threw their daughters and granddaughters under the bus. May karma strike you when your grandchildren reach puberty. Are you waiting for deranged DeSantis to try to walk on water? Stupidity is a sickness in Florida. Somebody said boycott Florida. Ronald LeBeau on Twitter says DeSantis heavily gerrymandered the map and for 20 years of Republican domination of political office in Florida with control of the legislature. Every governor for 20 years has been a Republican who's appointed all the state Supreme Court judges. Horrible for Floridians. So yeah. Yeah. It ain't gonna happen. Like Florida's gonna continue to stay Republican. So I don't know. I think Democrats need to go back to the drawing board. I think the issues that they're opposing, legalization of marijuana, Roe versus Wade, people it's not hitting home. I think people are more, especially down there, worried about immigration, worried about taxes, worried about inflation. They're worried about their money, man. So money is what always talks. You always think, you try to get these heart-wrenching stories out to people, but no, that people just really don't care. So I have had enough of election talk. I'm absolutely over it. So I'm just gonna get into some stories and some combo. First off is Mike Tyson. This guy cracks me up because Mike Tyson, he's known to talk so many crazy, like before his boxing matches. He talks really crazy, but here's a snippet of him on Joe Rogan. Let's hear him.
When fighting gets you erect, what does that mean?
Good question. It means you're getting excited.
It's orgasmic sometimes.
That's going through your mind right now.
Well, that's how I get when I was a kid. Sometimes I get the twinkle.
But saying that it gets you orgasmic, that's a strange thing to say.
No, I'm being very serious.
I know you're being serious, but no one will understand that other than you. Like, that's your mindset. So no one's going to understand you get an erection from thinking about hurting someone more than you will.
So Mike Tyson, and he has said some outlandish things to boxers. And so the fact that he says that he is going to get an erection, here's some of his quotes. Everyone has a plan till they get punched in the mouth. Godless, everything happens for a reason. He says, and I remember the one about him saying, I'll eat your kids and stuff like that. That was a famous one. Another one of his is, let me see here. There's so many of them. He's got like swan songs, just a lot. But he said I'll take a bath in his blood. Yeah, he said a lot of crazy stuff. Tyson is known for saying some really, so the fact that he said he used to get an erection before he was fighting is not shocking, but kind of shocking. Yeah. So let's go to the next one.
Young woman fakes entire pregnancy and a stillbirth, resulting in having a Facebook group dedicated to her and her whole family's drama outed in the comments. Welcome to your Sunday night feature of Why I Will Never Delete Facebook. Nevaeh's mother posts, Nevaeh Arnett's treachery has run so deep, and I offer an apology to all for the pain and hurt she has caused. My daughter tricked everyone and faked a full 9-month pregnancy delivery and baby's death. Yes, I am confirming the post that has gone viral about all her lies. Please, no more friend requests. Our family has suffered so much emotional stress, and I ask please do not attack us on social media. Update, she has returned the baby stuff to us this evening from the baby shower. Here's another image from the baby shower. Nevaeh's mother continues, I never thought anyone, especially my own child, would buy fake sonograms, hide tampons when she bled in the back of a bathroom cabinet, go to doctor's appointments alone, lie to us all, and let us pay all the money for her baby shower and gender reveal. The sister of the man who was told he was the father posted, since it has been confirmed by the court, I'm putting her on blast. Nevaeh Arnett faked an entire pregnancy, faked the birth of a baby, sent us pictures and everything, told us the baby passed away. She did this to my brother. She will do this to someone else. On August 25th, Nevaeh posted, October is going to be sweet this year. We are ready to see your little face, Beau. What a great day. Sweet Beau is so loved, and we were all ready to meet you, little one. When asked about what the motivation was, someone who knows her personally said, from my understanding, she did it to get back at her ex and try to keep him. At some point near her due date, she disappeared and then told everyone that the baby passed away. Are you and the baby okay? My son passed away. I need time alone. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Are you safe? They let you go home? Yes. When were you admitted? I don't want you bleeding out or anything. I'm worried. The father of the fake baby pleads with her, desperate. I need proof of a baby being born and not making it. I had given you that though. No, you didn't. Send me a picture of his armband. I did too on FaceTime. Not long enough to show it was really the baby and not something you have from something else or something. I want a picture of it. That's a lie. You've seen everything long enough. No, because you held it up for 2 seconds. Send a picture. Okay, I will later after I handle what I gotta handle. No woman carries a baby full term and then act like it never happened. Just gonna ignore it like it never happened. And then she sends a picture of this baby. I already have this picture, by the way, and a newborn wouldn't have a feeding tube like that, especially going into surgery. Your mom will get to the bottom of it. You know she doesn't give up, so you wanna come clean? You don't ever let things go. You think I'm gonna let my child that died just...
So, shockingly enough, I have been a part of a fake pregnancy, and this was like when I was 23. I was just getting out the military. I was still a young, naive kid, but I did not realize how much people lie. So this girl at my job, it was a whole thing with her, but the first thing was that she was pregnant. Like her stomach was big, and we were friends, work friends that became, hangout friends on the weekend. And so she had a fiance. She came in with this ring and all that stuff. And so one day she introduced her fiance to me in person. And so I was like, cool. And this was before the days of caller ID and stuff. At least I can afford it at that time. It was just like new. This was like early 2000s. So actually 99. So anyway, I get this call on my answering machine, and let's even not get to that part first. First of all, so then I get this call. We had a baby shower for her and all this stuff. Like, we bought gifts and everything, we're expecting this baby or whatever. But in that whole meantime, then I get this call one day. It's this guy on my voicemail. He was like, you don't know who I am, but I know who you are, and all this. And so it freaked me out because I'm like, what dude, I was living by myself. Like, totally freaked. And so she was one of my good friends at the time. So I called her and I was like, hey, listen to this voicemail. And she kept saying, like, play it again, play it again. And it didn't click why she kept, because normally somebody hears something, they'll be like, oh, that's crazy. But she asked me to keep playing it. And so, you know, I was like, ain't that crazy? She was like, yeah, girl. And so nothing of it. So then, of course, the strange caller calls back. So I'm like, who is this? And so he turns out to be the fiance of the expectant mother that I knew. And so I'm like, why are you cheating on her? You know, she's pregnant and y'all are engaged. And he was like, first of all, the ring is fake. And secondly, she has tumors in her stomach. And I didn't know that, like, if you have stomach tumors, your stomach gets big. Like, and I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it, but I kind of did, like, because the whole thing with her, you know, keeping calling and everything. So I told my other friends, or my male friends, so we had like a little friendship group, and they're like, oh, he's just lying. He's just trying to get with you. But then the baby never came. And she just abruptly quit our job. So, I mean, there's a lot of people that fake pregnancies, and it's wild to me. I mean, that definitely taught me that people will lie about anything, though. It's just, I don't know why, but I don't know. Because unless she lost the baby before the tumors, I don't know her story as to why. So if you're listening to this, let me know, why did you lie? Was it trauma? Was it what? I don't know. That was weird. But yes, that stuff does happen. And it's sad because the whole family, you rope them in, they do these fake baby showers for you and all this, and then there's no baby. And it's like, you know what? You don't need a baby. You didn't need a baby. You actually need some therapy. All right, let's get to the next one.
What up? So, another dating story. Me and Azu were super vibing, right? We were vibing heavy. But it's our second date, okay? It's our second date. He doesn't want to go out to the bars, which I understand, because, you know, it's a whole other vibe. When we went out to dinner for the second date, and it's a whole other vibe when you go to the bar. So I'm like, okay, well, I have a bottle of red wine at my house, which you can obviously tell because I'm slurring my words like a motherfucker. I have a bottle of red wine at my house. It's cool. We can go. So we come. First thing I established before we get here, we're not fucking. Period, point fucking blank. So don't come in this house if you think that's what it is. Oh, no, it's not cool. So we sit down, we start chit-chatting, you know. It immediately comes up to he starts feeling my tits. Obviously, he's a fucking man. So why are you feeling my tits? Because I've already told you that we're not fucking. I got boob tape, so it's all good. But, you know, and that's his first question. Why is there all this, like, it's boob tape. Oh, what's boob tape? Whatever. None of your fucking business. Why are you feeling my tits if I'm telling you that we're not? And before any of you say, I'm just feeling your tits, I don't want to have sex, fuck you. Because that's not what the fuck you want. So we go into a whole nother explanation about why I don't want to have sex, why I feel it's very big on exchanging energy, and I'm just not in that place in my life where I'm willing to give my energy to anyone. Having sex is literally exchanging energy, and I'm not willing to do that shit unless it's with intent. So I'm not at that place with you, bruh. So why the fuck are you so either you want it or you don't, and like if you want it too bad, cool, and if you can deal without it, then stay. But if you want it too bad, you gotta go. He says he's fine without it. He has to go to the bathroom. Dope. Go to the bathroom. He pees, whatever the fuck he does. Comes back, sits on top of me, starts making out with me, and not just making out with me. The type of making out with me that you're like, yeah, you're looking for something else, and it's not here because I've already told you at this point twice that we're not doing that shit. So why the fuck are you still here if that's what you fucking want? So I push him off me. Yo, I've already said twice now, this is not what we're doing. Oh, I was just like, and at that time he starts trying to take off my boob tape. Ooh. He starts trying to take off my boob tape. And I'm like, bro, I don't want you to take off my boob tape. Like, I don't want to fuck you. So what the fuck are you doing? Oh, just because I take off your boob tape doesn't mean you feel fuck. I'm 31, honey. I'm 31. I've done this rodeo a million times. I've led this rodeo. I am the main cowgirl. Now he's mad because I exited him out stage left. Why are you mad when I told you 8 times I didn't want to fuck you? And what do? Continuously try to fuck me. Fuck you.
Okay. Listen, no means no. But if you go over a man's house, like, I just don't get it. You know, like, men, when they get in the zone, and I know, no means no, but don't put yourself in that situation, ladies, or men, or whoever, like, because going over people's house that you are not clear on things, I mean, one, on either side, you can end up with a rape charge, because now in today's society, you can just give someone a unwanted touch, and that's sexual assault. So, yeah, man, tread lightly, because I would never go to somebody's house if I'm not planning on hooking up with them. Like, I'm just not. And drinks could have been involved, anything. It's a bad move. Let's go to the next thing.
Hey guys, I just got fired by Twitter. It's crazy. So I know there's been a bunch of news this week where people were saying that Elon was going to fire half the company, but I didn't think it was real. And then today I got fired out of nowhere, and I want to show you how I got fired, because it's pretty ridiculous. I've worked at Twitter for over 5 years. I'm an engineer. And I was not fired on a phone call. I was not fired at an in-person meeting. I wasn't even fired over text message. No, I was fired over email. And I'm going to show you the email that Hannah, the new HR director, or whatever the hell she is, sent me this morning, letting me know I was fired. So here's the email that Hannah sent me. As you can see, she just tells me that my email access is going away at 6 p.m. today, and then attaches a meme of Elon saying, "Time to leave the nest, you're fired." So I got this, and I replied. I was like, this is a joke, right? Like, this is a fun Elon thing he's going to tweet about later. And she was like, "Oh, no, you're fired." And I talked to some of my friends that got fired, and they got the same email, although some of the text on their memes was a little different, I guess. But, yeah, this is a huge surprise, because I've been working there for over 5 years, like I said. I helped build Twitter. I'm an engineer. I helped build the feature that shows you one of Elon's tweets every time you open the app, so I thought, maybe my job would be safe. And before that, I worked on Vine, which Elon talked about bringing back. So I thought, even if he did fire people, I thought I'd be okay, but I guess not, because according to this, it is time for me to leave the nest. So, yeah, if anyone's hiring, let me know, I guess.
And so he literally just received an email with a picture of Elon, like, pretty much it's time to leave the nest. Actually, I prefer that method. Don't give me this, like, I don't want to have a meeting. If you're going to drop me, send me an email so I can bounce and let me know what my severance options are. I don't want to sit in no meeting. You guys already have your mind made up. Like, shoot me an email. We out. But condolences to all those people that lost their jobs. But did you guys really want to continue working for Elon if you guys don't like him like that, for real? And you guys are talented. I'm sure somebody will take you. Parler, Truth Social. There's so many little social media places out here. You guys will get back in there. Keep trying. Let's go to this guy who is telling us how men need to be taken care of according to their zodiac signs. Let's go.
Y'all asked for the male version, so here you go. How to date him based on his zodiac sign. Let's go. And before we get started, I don't want to read in the comment section, "Oh, I used to date a Capricorn and he was an asshole," or "Leo men ain't nothing like that." Keep in mind, this is just in general. Needless to say, these descriptions don't fit everyone. And it's possible to have traits from more than one zodiac sign. Because in addition to your zodiac sign, which is based on the day that you were born, you also have a rising, a sun, and a moon. And to sum it up without getting way too complicated, that's based on the positions of certain constellations the moment you were born. So you see, I'm a Taurus with a Scorpio rising. So just keep that in mind as you go through these. First up, Aries. Aries men are natural warriors with big personalities, and they're usually very spontaneous. To successfully date an Aries man, you're gonna have to live in the moment. Be willing to try new things. Don't be afraid to try something extreme at least once. Taurus. Taurus men are usually very independent and very reliable, and they always go for comfort. I'm a Taurus man, I know. To be with him, you're gonna have to be comfortable. You're gonna have to be his place of peace. Keep the drama to a minimum and rub his body. You'll tame that bull. Gemini. Gemini men are usually very enthusiastic and well-connected, and they are very attracted to intellectual women. And they're usually talkers, so listen. And even if you're not interested in what he's talking about, act like you are. Cancer. Cancer men are natural guardians. They're very protective of the people that they care about. And most of the time, they give you 100% of their trust until it's violated. And if you violate that trust, he'll never believe another word you say. To be with him, let him protect you. Let him lead. Don't be one of those women that's like, I don't need no man. I can do it all myself. You gotta make him feel needed. Leo. Leo men are charismatic and they are fucking fearless. Leo men are usually successful because they'll run into anything full speed and head first. And that's because they're usually confident that they are going to come out on top. And most of the time, they do. To be with him, you're going to have to stroke his ego. I mean, stroke the D too, but stroke that ego first. He's the best at everything. I don't give a fuck what you say. Virgo. Virgo men are arguably the most gentle and kind sign, and they can read people like a book. So if you on some fake shit, he gonna see right through you. He gonna go along with it. He gonna play your ass like a fiddle. So to be with him, you're gonna have to be straightforward. Just keep it real with him. I don't give a fuck what it is. They like stability, and nothing is more stable than the truth to them. Libra. Libra men are critical thinkers and they're great at decision making. And he can view the world from many different perspectives. But he hates struggle. When it comes to relationships, he avoids confrontation at all costs. To be with him, check that drama shit at the door. Just don't bring him no bullshit. You're gonna be alright. Scorpio. Scorpio men are intense and they are motivated. And they get to the bag. To be with him, you're gonna have to be his support system. You cannot get in the way of his success. Don't complain that he works too much and don't interfere with his work. Be his biggest cheerleader while he's grinding his ass off. Sagittarius. Sagittarius men are adventurous and they're curious. They usually have many different interests. And if you got that travel bug, this is the man for you. He likes to go places. To be with him, you're gonna have a passport and a good sense of humor. I mean, lots of signs like to travel, but for him, it's mandatory. And he likes to have a good time while he's doing it. So keep a bag packed and don't be boring. Capricorn. Now the word is Capricorn men are the best to get into a relationship with. They are usually very well-rounded. They are driven, organized, motivated, supportive, and they are big goal setters. Like, not just career-wise, I mean everything. He's gonna set goals for his job. He's gonna set goals for his personal life. He's gonna set goals for y'all's relationship. So to be with him, he's gonna have to feel like that you have goals that you're chasing. And some of those goals have to involve him. He likes to feel accomplished, so him helping you to accomplish your goals is a plus for him. Aquarius. These men are independent, open-minded, and committed. Now, as far as signs go, on the male side, this is the most intellectual sign. Now, physical attraction is definitely important, but he's more attracted to this than anything. Be able to hold a conversation, be able to intrigue him, talk about things that's going to cause him to think. Pisces. These men are usually very imaginative and gentle. And if you're looking for romance, this is the guy for you. This is the most romantic sign. He ain't the type that's just gonna go buy you some flowers. He's gonna take a leisure stroll through the forest and find the most beautiful roses and pick them himself. He loves to make his woman feel special. To be with him, you're gonna have to make him feel special too. Don't go just buy him a watch for his birthday. Actually put some thought into your gift. Make it personal to him. All right, that's it. I hope you learned something. Now, go get your man.
I'm wondering if he dated all these men. I will say the Cancer part is right. My husband is a Cancer. He's definitely a protector. The rest, like, I don't know. It just really depends on the person. I don't read a lot into horoscopes. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're not. It just really depends on the person. Like, you know, he was right and spot on about the Cancer, though. All right, let's go to the next one.
I'm going to tell y'all about the biggest mistake I have ever made in my life. And I cannot believe I am on Beyonce's internet about to say this, but I feel like it could help a lot of people, so here we go. Basically, long story short, the biggest mistake I've ever made is having sex with someone that I did not know that well. And from that one mistake led to other mistakes, which led to me on a whole nother trajectory of my life that I did not see myself on. Disregard this thing on my cheek. I don't have time for that right now. Okay, so from as long as I can remember, I've always been a rule follower. Like, my parents never gave me a curfew. Because I'm just naturally a rule follower. I'm a natural goody two shoes. The first time I did something that wasn't like according to the rules that I willingly participated in was when I lost my virginity right before college. And I was dating this guy, and I thought it would be, a good idea, which is crazy because, like, I always thought I was gonna not have sex until marriage. But anyway, I met this guy. He was real cool, and so I had sex with him. But then after I went to college, we broke up like shortly afterwards. So a couple of years go by, and I'm in college, and the school that I go to, the school of music that I'm in, is very white. So I joined this black sorority to get closer to like people that look like me. And after that, I reconnected with this guy that I've known since elementary, and he invited me to this kickback. And so before this kickback, I haven't been anywhere. I've only been to my classes, to practicing my clarinet, and to work, like, and repeat, like, the whole thing. And so the kickback would be a whole new world for me, and I was super excited about going. So as soon as I get in this kickback, I see this guy. We shall name him Casimir. I see Casimir, and he is just so fine. And I just feel like he's way out of my league. Because I just feel like here I am, this band nerd girl, coming into this first black kickback she's ever been to. I'm almost a junior in college at that point. And so I'm like, okay, cool. So I see him. He's like the life of the kickback. Everybody knows him. Everybody's laughing with him. Like, I'm like, wow, like really just taking mental note of this. So the kickback ends, a super fun time. And the guy that invited me, I invited him over to my apartment because I cooked all the time. And he brought Casimir because apparently Casimir was his best friend. So I was like, bet. So I get to know Casimir for a little while, like a couple of weeks. And then Casimir invites me over to his place. Now, I knew what that meant. But at this time, I was like, girl, you don't have any stories. Everybody talks about how they go to college and they did all these things. You haven't done anything, so you'll be fine. Just go and make a lifelong memory. Boy, did I make a memory. Go ahead and go to part 2. It's already up. Okay, so I get to Casimir's place, and immediately when I walk in, I hear 112, which is like one of my favorite albums, and the one that's called 112. Anyway, and so we're talking about music, right? I love music. We're talking about that. Then eventually, one thing leads to another, and we get going to doing what I came to do. And so everything was great. I was like, this is great. Like, he is by far, like, I mean, at this point, I'm just so smitten. I'm just like, wow. And so I'm like, this is just the best day ever. So like a couple of days, like a week go by, we're still talking, cool. And I just feel like I got hit by a bus. Like, just feel like I literally am so sick. Now, all of my life, anytime I catch like a cold or anything that's going around, I get sick immediately. Like, I'm not one of those people that can get sick and just not know it. I know right off top. Like, I'm like really sick. But on top of feeling like I got hit by a bus, I also feel like somebody is like stabbing my lady parts and like they're gonna like fall off. So I'm just like, what the heck? Like, so I make this appointment to go to the OB-GYN because at this point I can barely walk. So I make this appointment to go to the OB-GYN. I get there, and she does all these tests, like an STD panel. She does like all these other tests, and then she looks at me and she goes, I'm only going to tell you this because I have a daughter your age, but I'm not supposed to because I don't have the results back yet, but I'm pretty sure this STD panel is going to come back normally because I think what you have isn't on this panel, and I think it's herpes. And I was like, girl, you're crazy. Like, you're obviously insane. Like, I just had sex with this one guy, like maybe a week ago, and like, can it even show up that fast? Like, that's crazy. Like, I haven't had sex before that for like over a year, like before that time. So I was like, girl, you're crazy. We'll wait for the results to come back. So the results come back, and she is absolutely correct. It is herpes, HSV2. So I'm just like, my life is over. I am depressed. I am miserable. And like a month after that, I go for a pap smear. That comes back abnormally. And I'm just like, I'm not surprised. I'm in shambles. And she was like, no, it came back abnormally because you, along with HSV2, you also have HPV, and you have the strain of HPV that could turn into cervical cancer. You have precancerous cells on your cervix. We're going to have to schedule a surgery to remove that part of your cervix. Oh, I felt like my life was absolutely over at that point. I have never been in any kind of trouble. I do one thing, and this is what happens. So I tell Casimir, and he's like, well, I don't know what to tell you. I don't have that. So he goes to get tested, and apparently his test comes back inconclusive, which he doesn't even show me the test. He doesn't show me any evidence that he even went. He just said his test was inconclusive. Cool. Okay, go to the next part. I'm running out of time. Okay, so I'm at the story where I just found out not only do I have herpes, but I also have HPV. And it's a strain that causes cervical cancer, so I'm gonna have to get part of my cervix removed. Boom. Okay, so Casimir is like, I don't have that, it's inconclusive, whatever, boop-de-boop. And my next thought literally would cost me 10 years of making bad decisions. So this was like in 2012. And so I, at that point, was like, okay, well, Casimir is going to be the only person I can ever be with. He's going to be the only person who can ever love me, ever. So I'm going to have to do whatever it takes to ensure that I am going to be with Casimir forever. Terrible. I could not have been more wrong. So I'm doing things that I would never do. And keep in mind, at this point, I have just gone from just a couple of months ago being a star student, goody two-shoes girl, to literally having herpes, HPV, going to have to get part of my cervix removed, and about to drop out of college because I can't go to class because I am so sick. Like, I am so sick, I can barely get out of bed. I can barely walk. After I had the procedure, they said that they had to remove more of my cervix than they thought they would have had to remove. So now I only have half a cervix, and they're saying that I still probably will be able to have kids, but will I be able to carry those kids full term? We won't know until like that happens. And so I'm like, okay, great. HPV, herpes, half a cervix, not sure if I'm gonna be able to carry a child full term, and I might have to drop out of school. I am absolutely at my lowest. So one thing I do decide in this very depressive state was that I was gonna do everything I could to make sure that Casimir was like gonna be with me forever. So I started doing things I would never do. So one day I was over his place and I was looking for a piece of paper, and I found this spiral. So I was like, cool, I'll just get a piece of paper from the back of the spiral, whatever. Then I see like all these names of almost like over 100 girls in there. And I'm just like, what the heck is this? And then I realized that some of those girls are girls that I've been seeing with him for quite some time. He just said they were just friends, whatever. And it turns out that he has slept with all those people on that list. And I was just so dumb because up until that moment, I really thought that I was the only person he was sleeping with, that we were going to be in a relationship. And I didn't know that he like had sex with all of these people.
You put your trust in a nigga. Stupid hoe, how you feel, girl?
And so I decide, in my infinite wisdom, that I was going to pretend that I didn't see that at all, and I was just going to have to work harder to be better than all of those girls to ensure that I ended up with Casimir. Okay, go to the part. This is going to be the last part. Go to the next part. We're in the last part of the series, and basically in this part is where I realized, I think that Casimir is the only person that I can be with. Like, ever, and out of anybody in the world, I could only be with Casimir because he's the only person that's gonna love me despite, all this going on. Which he never loved me anyway. But anyway, so that's what I'm thinking. And because of that, eventually we did start dating, and I have another video that says like the time I got dumped by a married man. Spoiler alert, that is Casimir. Anyway, so I would just continuously make these terrible mistakes from 2012 when this happened all the way to 2022, which is this year's the first year where I fully believe that I am worthy of someone who loves me and worthy of being in like a fulfilling relationship where I don't have to do everything. Like, I literally just started believing that this year. And so if you were in that same boat and you just found out something, or you've been knowing this, but you feel also like you're not worthy of these things, then that is absolutely not true. Like, it has taken me 10 years to get here, but I am here, and I'm here today to tell you that, no, we do deserve love. Like, not in this boat just because, like, oh, no, we're just trash now. Like, nobody's gonna ever love us. Like, no, that's not true at all. So, I'm just here to encourage you. Also, share my mistakes. Hopefully other people learn from them, because clearly it took me a while to learn, but I have learned. So, I guess that's the whole point. And also for the past 4 years, I have been on an abstinence journey because I just continuously made mistakes. Like, even not just with Casimir, like literally I've been making mistakes. And so 4 years ago, God was just like, listen, sis, you have to stop this. Like, you have to stop. And so I've been on an abstinence journey. I have another video about that. And I also have a group that I just made because of that video. It was just my friends in this group called Sexless in the City. It was a text thread, but now it's a Facebook group. So if you're abstinent or thinking about becoming abstinent, then that's on there, because this journey is very ghetto. But anyway, so if you want accountability partners, you can join that group if you want to. But yeah, so you are definitely worthy of, love. And none of this was to bash Casimir. Like, I was a willing participant. Granted, I didn't know most of the stuff that I would later find out, but after I found out, I was still making dumb choices, just dumb choices. So this is just about me and my evolution of how I got to the point where I am now. So literally there's way more where this came from. I mean, this was just the beginning. After we started dating, it just got there. I mean, there was so much stuff. So welcome to my life.
Well, I'm glad she's abstinent. I'm sad that it took her 10 years to realize that she deserved better. 10 years is too long. It's sad. And just the stuff that we turn blind eyes to when we so-called want to be in love. And I just hate that people hold that as the end-all be-all of life. Like, it is so not. I mean, my philosophy is always, we came in this world by ourselves, we're leaving by ourselves. And although I'm happily married, listen, I will always love myself more. And so I'm not going to let anybody take me down. I've worked too hard to get to where I am and who I am. And I really think it's bigger than Casimir or whoever this guy was. I think that she definitely has some trauma that she needed healed. So I hope she got counseling for that, especially before she starts her abstinence group, because what if some other suave guy comes along? All right, let's get one more in.
At this point, I'm just going to believe that you guys are just trying to block all of my videos. I want y'all to see this. Like, this is crazy that no one's talking about this. So does anybody remember seeing this story? It was on a lot of the blogs and a lot of the like urban news sites, but I never saw it really get a lot of attention or traction. So apparently there's been an update in this case. So this was the update through the news. They did find 6 women inside of a shipping container right outside of Chicago, and they are still looking for the 7th woman. The 7th woman was actually the birthday girl who was celebrating her birthday that night. And although, of course, we want the birthday girl to make it safe back home, I do want to talk about what the friends had to say. So the friends described them, the birthday girl had ordered the party bus for her birthday. Regular night, they'd gone out to dinner with her family prior to. Her and her 6 friends came back to her apartment, parked their cars, got onto the party bus. Once they get on the party bus, the bus driver, he, pretty much was like, this is a complimentary bottle from the company of liquor. I'm not going to say the liquor name. I'm not sure if I can. He gave them the complimentary bottle. The girls described them turning up. One of the girls in particular, who is the birthday girl's best friend, she was not drinking that night. So she didn't participate. However, all of the other young ladies did participate. They drank, they, turned up on the party bus while they were supposed to ride through the town and, go to the nightclub that the birthday girl had ordered a section for. So as they're riding, the girls start complaining about getting tired out of nowhere. Everybody started saying that they were sleepy. So the young lady who doesn't drink, she went up to the front of the bus to talk to the bus driver to find out, how long it would be before they got to where they were going. When she gets to the front of the bus, she notices that they are no longer even on a street anymore. They're actually on the highway headed in a completely opposite direction. She talks about how when the bus driver noticed that she was up in the front with him and she was trying to get him to talk to her, he turned around and he hit her with something, which she believes was like probably a stun gun or something because she heard it, and then she blacked out. When she came to, her and the other 5 girls were inside of this shipping container, but the birthday girl was nowhere to be found. The police still have no leads. I am going to stay up on this story to see if I can get any other updates for you guys, but let me know in the comments if you've heard this.
And so I definitely have not heard that. I even am searching for it now and I see absolutely nothing on it. So that is that's wild. The stuff that goes on that doesn't make the news is wild. And when people get on here and say, just women found in shipping containers, period, there's a million of them on the Google. As the old people like to say, the Google. But yeah, that is a crazy story. Be safe out there, ladies. Yeah, that's why if you're going to drink in this day and age, drink before you leave or bring your own bottle. Don't take drinks for people. Don't, it's too crazy. It's too crazy. This is why I stay home and play Call of Duty because I don't have time to be kidnapped and stuff. All right, guys. So you guys have a good, awesome day. I will be back tomorrow because there is always some kind of crazy hot topics going on. All right. F is for Family is signing off.